Greetings. Happy Monday. I am Nicole Everett, the host of Conversations with Nicole, where we are connecting the community through conversations. We have a special broadcast today from the Leon County Cares Program. My guest is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole. He actually spoke to us last month about the Leon County Cares Program, the individual assistance piece. And he's back again because there has been a significant revamp of the program. So you all are going to, really get some information here today. They've made some significant changes. I just told them, I said, y'all basically giving the money away. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing because people need help. This is COVID relief funds. We got Q&A, so this is an interactive live. Get all your questions answered here today about the Leon County Cares Individual Assistance Program. So without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Shington Lamy, the Director of the Office of Human Services and Community Partnerships with Leon County.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nicole, for having me again this morning.
Good morning, Shington. So, for those who don't know you, just give them a little brief synopsis of who Shington is and where you're from and what you do.
Okay, Shington Lamy, as Nicole mentioned, Director here at Leon County's Office of Human Services and Community Partnerships. Been with the county now going on 15 years next month. Wow, 4 years here in this department, actually, I think this week.
Wow,
Since I'm
congrats.
director here, yeah. Proud husband of Brandy Lamy and proud daddy of Logan and LJ Lamy. Yeah, came here for school way back in '99. Been
Mhm.
here ever since. Really enjoy this community. I think it's a great place to raise a family, and has always been. And I appreciate the opportunities I've gotten since I've been here to
That's
grow. As a man and professionally. So yeah, I like the opportunities that I've gotten here with this organization, as well as the education I received when I went to Florida State. So
awesome. Well, you are
mm,
doing a fine job. So,
thank you. Thank
glad to have you today. So, this Leon Cares program, which launched on August 17th,
you.
came and told us about it, about a month ago.
Yeah.
And the county commission decided to do a revamp, right?
Yeah. We brought before the board a couple of weeks ago now some ideas to enhance the program.
Mhm.
And this was, of course, because we had been going for about a month at this point, and we seen some opportunities where we can actually improve access to those who need this assistance. So today we have launched a new process. Um, that provides that better access and greater help for individuals who have been impacted by COVID, who are still experiencing financial difficulty with their rent, mortgage, or their utility. And so, some of those things, of course, is that we have increased the award amount from $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
We've increased the income limit from 80% of AMI to 120% of AMI. Um, what
Sorry
that
about
means,
that.
yeah, no problem. So what that means, increasing it to 120%, is that, for example, for a family of four, the income limit is now $87,000 versus before it was about 54,000. Uh,
Okay.
Another thing we've done is that we were changing who these funds are awarded to. Previously, it was provided directly to an applicant's either landlord, the mortgage company, or utility company.
Okay.
Now, those dollars will go directly to the applicant, so that way they can make those payments that's required for their housing or for their utilities. And we thought that was very important because one thing we did see is there were some challenges that we're running into and getting those dollars because of the fact that a lot of times these applicants were running into some barriers, even with getting information from their landlord or their mortgage
Mhm.
company. So we thought it was important to go ahead and make sure that they have those dollars so they can quickly make those payments. Especially we're in a period now where the moratorium was not renewed by the governor, so
Mhm.
people are more likely now to be facing evictions, and there are you know powers are being cut off. So we want to make sure people get the dollars as quickly as possible so they can make those payments so they don't experience homelessness.
So that is huge. I don't know if you all, really got what he said, but the dollars will go directly to the applicant, no longer to the mortgage company or the landlord or the utility company, but directly to the applicant. Now, of course, there's an attestment that the applicant makes saying, yes, I'm going to get those dollars to the mortgage holder and the landlord and the utility company, but this was one of the big barriers with the previous setup. So, kudos to you all for, trying to eliminate that barrier so folks can get those dollars directly and go ahead and make those payments. So that is huge. That is huge.
Yes.
Okay.
hmm
So go ahead.
So a few other things, of course, is so that's more of on the policy end. On the administrative level, we are looking to reduce paperwork. So certain things haven't changed. I mean, you still have to be a Leon County resident, of course.
Hmm.
You have to be 18 or older. You have to kind of you had to have experienced some form of loss due to COVID-19, 25% or more. Now, the difference though is that prior to this new process, certain level of paperwork required, right?
Hmm.
Documentation, and we're reducing that. Prior, you had to submit either a unemployment benefits, a layoff letter, or something to prove that you had experienced a loss of income due to COVID.
Hmm.
Now it's just answering a question that's on the application, online application. It's a yes or no questions. Have you been impacted? Yes or no, and you're attesting that you are. As long as there's a yes to that question, then that's all we need. We don't need any type of additional documentation in order for you to meet that eligibility requirement.
Hmm.
Another thing is when it comes to the household income, that verification that you are 120% or below of AMI.
Hmm.
Prior, we were asking for either 2019 tax return or 60 days of income for all adults, as well as license and IDs and birth certificates for minors. Um, we're not doing that anymore when it comes to income, verifying the household income. Uh, to verify that, you can do one of two things. One, if you are receiving, the household is receiving either Medicaid or they're on Section 8 or SNAP, then and they have that
Hmm.
documentation, as long as they upload that documentation, that will cover the entire household, and we will and that will be enough for us to say that this person, this family, and this household sufficiently meets the 120% household income limit, because you have to be making less than that already, and there's already been a government program that's kind of certified that you do meet that requirement.
Right.
So if you don't get any of those assistance programs, the other thing that can be done is that now there is a form that can be downloaded on the website where you can apply. And in that form, it's our self certification form. And so all adults in the household will have to complete a self certification form. So that's the applicant and any additional adults in the household certifying what their income is. So we don't need you to submit your tax return. We don't need you to submit W-9. I mean, I'm sorry, not W-9, but W-2s or any other documentation. What we need is that specific form to be completed, and you're signing off that what you're saying is truthful as far as when it comes to self-certification. And then we will take that information and calculate to ensure that the household is below the 120% AMI threshold.
Okay. That's another huge
Mhm.
adjustment that has been made to this. So, no documents, just a certification of income and proof of SNAP or, public assistance, and then the applicant's ID, right?
The applicant's ID. Yep, we need the applicant's ID still.
Okay.
Now, the other thing though is because there is no two phases; it's only one phase. So everything that you need to show that you need assistance will be provided in the front end. So prior, of course, an individual or applicant had to go get after we had deemed them eligible. They would get an email with
Mm.
a forms that they had to go take to the landlord or to the
Mhm.
mortgage company or to the utility company, get them to complete it, get them to sign it. Then after that, get that form uploaded back into the system for us to review. Now we do all this in the front end where we're saying is that if you have a bill, your utility bill, upload the most current utility bill. You don't have to go
Mhm.
back to city. You don't have to go back to Talquin. Upload that most recent
Currently.
utility bill.
Gotcha.
Upload the most recent mortgage statement, and that's your proof to show how much you need to get assistance. When it comes to if you live in an apartment, we do need a copy of a lease agreement.
Okay.
That is going to be required along with some form of correspondence from the landlord showing how much is owed. So it could be a 3 day notice. It could be
Mhm.
an email saying, "Hey, you owe me X, and if you don't, then we will be evicting you." Something, some type of documentation, verifying the amount that is due or past due is going to be needed, along with the lease agreement if you're looking for assistance for rent. For
Mhm.
mortgage, it's just simply the mortgage statement, as well as, of course, what still remains is that it has to be a homesteaded home. So
Okay.
it has to be a homestead. We're not going to cover, vacation properties or income generating properties. It has to
Oh man.
sorry, sorry, yeah, yeah, I
Man.
feel the same way. So yeah, so there's so it's specifically for that, um, and then um, and then of course just the most recent utility bill, and
Okay.
that's the information that we will need. Um, and what we'll be doing as far as our review process, we will be checking for make sure that the individual is a Leon County resident, and the fact that their application address that they put in the application will have to match the address that's either on the utility bill or on the lease agreement, because we want to ensure that it's to assist someone who is living here in Leon County.
Mhm. Absolutely.
The only other form that would need to also be completed is, because the dollars are going directly to the applicant,
Mhm.
there is a W-9 form that
Okay.
must be completed by the applicant. And this is the form where we ask for them for their full legal name. We need their social security number. We
Mhm.
need their the full address put in there also, so that way we can know um, where those dollars in for our finance department, to ensure that those dollars are going to a Leon County resident, and then we can
Right.
know um, we can establish them as a vendor in order to get them those dollars, cut
Absolutely.
that check.
Okay. Good deal, good deal. So, for those of you who just may be tuning in, we are talking today with Shington Lamy, the director of the Office of Human Services and Community Partnerships for Leon County, and we're specifically talking about the Leon County CARES program, the individual assistance segment of that program. There have been some significant changes from the amount awarded, and these are grant funds from 3,000 to 5,000. The area median income per family household has gone up from 80% to 100% AMI.
120%.
120%, 120% AMI, and then the documentation that is required has been significantly reduced, and the dollars will go directly to the individual citizen as opposed to the mortgage company, landlord, and utility company. So all significant changes to this program.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I don't think you gave this, but can you just give an example of what the area median income is for 80 versus up to 120%?
Yeah. So, for example, a family of four, that would be $87,240, right? And so that basically, when you think about that, it could be a household with, like, two teachers, or
Hmm.
a teacher and a state worker. These are or two state workers. These typically that amount. So it's a remarkably income family who still have also been impacted by COVID, right? Um,
Hmm.
and so we want to make sure that we are providing as much access and much opportunities in our community to assist those who have been impacted economically by COVID-19, because we don't want these dollars to be going back to DC, because we still do have a deadline of
Yeah,
December 30th to get those funds spent. And
yeah,
so we don't want to be in the posture to say that we didn't do everything that we could to assist those in our community that need that help during these trying times.
absolutely. So folks that may have applied before but were denied for some reason, um, give it another shot. Give it
Yes.
another shot. And they should go to the leoncountycares.com website.
Yep.
Correct.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, mhm.
and just to add on, I'm glad you mentioned that, Nicole, is the fact that those who we have already assisted to, where we did pay their landlord or we did pay their mortgage company or or utility bill, they still will have another crack at it too.
Oh, really?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Okay.
Because of the increase. And so, what we will be doing in the near future is we will be reaching out to that population. And so, we've got a little over 1,000 people that we've already assisted in that way. We
Okay.
will be reaching out to them to see if they need additional assistance. And they won't have to go through the entire process again because we've already deemed them to be eligible.
Okay.
We've known that they're qualified. And so, there will be a separate process. And it's tweaking the technology to make it work in order for them to be able to come back into the system is what we're still working out right now. So that way they can continue to be assisted if they need it up to between the difference of what they received and the $5,000.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So they can, get that supplemental that they may not
Right.
have received earlier.
Right.
So that's good. I'm telling you, y'all are giving this money away for real now. For real, for real.
We are looking to help our Leon County residents. That's what we're doing.
Awesome. 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 Well, kudos to, your office, Shington, and to the commission. Kudos to the commission for hearing you all and making these very, important changes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so Leon County, we're always looking to be responsive.
Mm.
To the need of our community. And we heard, we don't, we you don't ever want to be so rigid in your process that you're not addressing the true need. And so I got to take a moment to, thank the leadership of the county administrator, the county administrator, our board, and our giving us the ability and flexibility to be responsive to the needs of the community, but as well as thank our partners from Tallahassee Urban League, Echo, Greater Frenchtown, 211 Big Bend. We're constantly meeting with them. Even our partners in the city, we're constantly meeting with them to talk about the program, seeing opportunities where we can kind of make adjustments so we can continue to address need. Those with the boots on the ground, who's hearing what the needs are. They've been very, very important in assisting us to look at ways we can enhance the program and meet the needs in the community.
Gotcha. Good deal. So we have a
Okay.
question. Tamia wants to know, so the bill has past due. It cannot be from a current month.
It can
So,
it just has to be it can be a current bill. It can't be anything in the future, right? Whatever that bill states is the amount that's due, and you can demonstrate that you need assistance, then that'll be sufficient for us.
yes. All right, Tamia. I hope that answers your question. It's not necessarily about it being past due. It can be a current bill, but you just have to again deem yourself as needing assistance. So,
Can be, yep, it can be.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, so someone else said application at Leon County Cares. Yes, the application is at leoncountycares.com. So you can go there as well as you can call the help line, which is 855-203-6584, and they are there Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So,
Yeah. If
and
you've
then,
never applied before, then you'll have to set up a username and password uh,
okay.
uh, with an email address in order to set that account up. Set up.
Uh, So again, new applicants need to go online, set up that account with an email address, username, and password. All right. Okay. So somebody else said, please reapply if you were denied. So
Yes. Yeah. We sent mass emails out on Friday afternoon, letting people know. Those people who had kind of like been stuck you know, in the system, not moving on. We went ahead and denied them, but then we followed that up with
okay.
emails as well as text messages, letting them know, hey, but Monday there's a new process. Go and apply.
Yeah.
We didn't want them to feel, but in the system, we had to go ahead and deny them. So that way, again, working with technology,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do certain way that they wanted, then it's not going to let you move on. So we had to do it, but
Okay.
then we supplemented that with a follow-up email saying, hey, you got this denial, but please come back in on Monday, October 12th and reapply.
Okay. Very good. Now, Natalia wants to know, what about small business?
Yeah, the system was updated for small businesses also. You can go to the same website at Leon County Cares, uh, uh, leoncountycares.com. Yeah,
Yeah, County
I'm sorry.
Care.
Yeah, leoncountycares.com. For small businesses also, there were some changes made to that program as well that the board did to enhance that um, for minority and women-owned businesses as well as hardest hit businesses. There were increases to those. I'm not as familiar with that program, of course, but that was open last week actually to continue to assist people. And I know they've had a lot of applications through small businesses from people who
Yeah.
expressed the need and continue to have the need.
So Natalia, as well as Ms. Mildred, since I see your question up here as well about small business, OEV, the Office of Economic Vitality, is taking the lead on the small business aspect. So you can contact their office directly about the small business funds rather, as relates to the Leon County Cares Program. So,
And I'll add, because I know their office is pretty swamped too, but like us, they have also partnered with the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Capital City Chamber of Commerce, and the Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce to
mhm,
provide technical support and assistance to our local businesses, our local small businesses in completing those applications too. So you can reach
mhm.
out to them too.
Yes, 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 yes. So again, this is what we're talking about right now is individual assistance for citizens of Leon County. Again, the grant amount has increased from 3,000 to 5,000. The application in terms of documentation has been significantly reduced, and the dollars will now go directly to the citizen as opposed to the mortgage company, landlord, and utility companies. So all significant changes, and the area median income for the individual household size has increased to 100%, 120% of the area median income. So
Mhm.
that's for a family of four, 87,000. That's a lot of
Yeah.
people here in Leon County. So if you did apply for money and did receive some, but not 5,000, you can receive the up to 5,000 if you need more funding. So again, the county has done an outstanding job of trying to make this work, trying to eliminate the barriers to entry. And we don't want to give these funds back. We want to spend them all. The deadline is December 30th, but we hoping we're gonna spend it all before Thanksgiving. All right. That would be great.
That would be good. Yes, it would be good, especially going to holiday season. We want everyone to have that peace of mind,
Mhm.
financially, that they don't have to worry about losing their home or the place to stay, or worrying about their utilities, especially as the weather is going to get a little cooler.
Mhm.
Need that
Absolutely.
heat.
So, talk a little bit about the partners with this program. I know you mentioned the Urban League, Greater Frenchtown, the libraries. What's their role in this?
So what they're doing is they're helping us. Again, the application is an online application.
Hmm.
But we also recognize that everyone may not have that capability of completing that of application. They may not have either the experience with technology, or they might not have the resources with the technology, right? Because it requires uploading documents. So sometimes everyone don't have a scanner sitting at home or a copy print that they can upload documentation. And
Right.
so we partnered with Tallahassee Urban League, with Echo, with Greater Frenchtown, as well as resources in our at our libraries, so where people can actually go in and walk in and get help with completing the online application. So they've got the computers, they've got the scanners, they've got the internet bandwidth that's required, so
Mhm.
that way they can assist with completing the application. We did significant training last week, extensive, I should say, training last week with them to talk about the new process and what's required and the documentation and things like that, so they can assist people. Um, and of course, our office here at 918 Railroad Avenue is another resource here in the community. But it was very important for us to recognize that we can't just say, well, go to www.leoncountycares.com. There's people who need more than that. So we can say, go to this partner. They're there. They can assist you with completing the application. They can help you kind of navigate through those. And that's what we're calling them, our navigators. Navigate through this process so that way our citizens can get the assistance that they need.
Okay. And a list of navigators is included on the website?
Yes, we have a program description that includes a documentation on that lists their who our partners are, their address,
Okay.
as well as their telephone number and their hours of operation.
Okay. So if you
That's
are challenged with technology in terms of having either the equipment or the service, the internet service, then you can go directly to these service providers, these navigators, if you will,
right.
to assist with this process, to assist with this process. So that's
Yeah.
excellent.
And another thing we're doing, and I think has been very important that we're doing, is we're working with partners to put street teams out there. So we've been working with Katrina Tuggerson. We've been working with Steve Beasley and some of our other partners
Mm-hmm.
to walk around communities and let them know about the changes. Because again, everyone does might not be able to hear it online.
Right.
Uh, Everyone may not, have the ability to listen to our conversations today, Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
or check out that billboard or the radio ad or whatever. But
Right.
being able to hit the ground and go into those neighborhoods so that way they're aware has been an important part in our outreach too. So
Mm-hmm.
that, and I know they're out there this weekend doing that. So yeah,
Wonderful, wonderful. No, this is great. You know, we do have to communicate in a variety of ways, so we
absolutely.
get all of that. We get all of that. All right. So we got another question.
Okay.
Veronique wants to ask about applying to be a minority-owned business and women-owned business certification. So, Shington,
hmm Yeah. So I clearly they're saying they want Christina. They don't want me
right?
for OEV. So yeah.
Christina, Christina has been on here before.
Okay, good, 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 good. Yeah. So that is our Office of Economic Vitality, well, ran by Christina Paredes, and
Mhm.
so they have been taking the lead and contacting their office. You can get all that information regarding getting certified because you do have to be certified in order to be eligible for that category of funding that's available through the Small Businesses Grant. But reaching out to their office or reaching out to our partners, like I said before, either the Capital City Chamber, the Big Bend Minority uh, Chamber to
Mhm.
get more information. We'll be able to assist individuals with or small businesses with that program.
Absolutely. And Veronique, Mr. Daryl Jones, I don't know if you know him, but
Yes.
he is actually I don't know if it's the
Yeah,
deputy
the director.
director, but yeah, of the minority and women-owned business
Mhm.
aspect of the OEV office. So can definitely steer you in the right direction over
Yep.
there. So, yeah, check out the Office of Economic Vitality for your small business and minority owned and women owned business needs. All right. Very good. All right. Well, anything else you would have us know in closing, Shinkton, before we wrap up?
Tell your, if you need assistance, please apply www.leoncountycares.com. Family members, members of your church,
Yes.
friends at the bar. I mean, I was talking about this at the barbershop on Saturday morning, because I want to make sure that our
Mhm.
community knows about this program and that we have plenty of money left to spend to assist those who need
Mhm.
help with their finances when it comes to their housing or utility bills. We want to help people out there who need it,
Yeah.
and really want to encourage them and find every way that we can to provide them that access to that help. So, and thank you, Nicole, for bringing me on this morning to do that, to talk about that. I really appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure, Shankton. Again, thank you for the work that you're doing and, helping to get this money out to the folks in Leon County because I know it's much needed during these very trying times. So we appreciate you. All right. Well, if nothing else, we are going to bid you all farewell. Again, apply leoncountycares.com, and we'll see you next time on Conversation with Nicole. Bye.